Dear students, as I share with you the accounting treatment of calls in arrear, now I will discuss with you accounting treatment of calls in advance. As the title itself say that calls in advance means the amount paid by the shareholder before the due date or call becomes due. Here please understand that the amount is received in advance by the company before the due date or when the call becomes due. A shareholder may pay this amount along with the allotment or along with the application or along with the first call, second call, depending upon the statement what it say. So here we have to understand that we have to record calls in advance in the books of account in a systematic way. Now, when calls in advance is received by the company, you can understand that in the bank the amount will be received more as compared to the amount which is due in a particular stage. For example, a shareholder paid his first call along with the allotment money. So automatically, when the allotment money is received in the bank, some amount will be received extra because that particular shareholder had paid the first call money along with the allotment. Now, in that case, calls in advance account will be credited. Now, at the time of the first call, there will be less amount in the bank because that shareholder will not make the payment of that calls which he had paid along with the allotment account. At that stage, in the bank entry, we have to debit the calls in advance account. Dear students, just keep in mind one thing, that at the stage where the calls in advance received by the company, calls in advance account will be credited. And at the stage when it becomes due, calls in advance account will be debited, because at the time when it is received, bank will show the more amount, so calls in advance account will be credited. At the stage when it actually becomes due, bank will show less amount, so we have to debit the calls in advance account. So this way we can record the journal entries with reference to the calls in advance. Now, a very important concept arises with reference to the calls in advance, that is relating to the interest on calls in advance. As the company has received the amount in advance, so automatically it is a debt on the part of the company and it is liable to make the payment of interest. Now, the question arises, at what rate of interest the interest will be paid to the shareholder. Regarding the rate of interest, nothing is specified in the Companies Act except that the board of directors may decide the rate of interest which is to be paid to the shareholder, but with a maximum ceiling or limit of 12%, which means that board of directors may finalize what rate of interest is to be given to the shareholder who has made the calls in advance, but the maximum rate will be 12%. So if suppose board of directors say that we are interested to pay at the rate of 15%, as per the Companies Act it is not acceptable, because Companies Act say that the maximum limit for the payment of interest on calls in advance is 12%. So the board of directors may decide the rate, but they may not supersede the ceiling or the limit which is given as per the Companies Act of 12% per annum. Now, a very important question arises, that for which period the interest on calls in advance will be given. See, one example is there, that a shareholder at the time of making application to the company for purchase of shares had paid the total amount of the share. For example, company has issued a share of rupees 10 at par of rupees 10 and demanded rupees 4 on application stage, but the shareholder had paid rupees 10 on the application stage. Now question arises whether he is entitled to receive the interest on calls in advance from the date of application. Dear students, understand, he is not entitled to receive the interest on his calls in advance from the date of application, because unless and until the allotment is not made, he is not a shareholder. So interest on calls in advance will be given to him only from the date of the allotment. If he has made prior to that, before that, company is not liable to make any interest on his calls in advance from the date of the application. He is entitled to collect the interest on his calls in advance only from the date of allotment, because before date of allotment he is not a shareholder of the company. So calls in advance interest will be given only from the date of allotment and onwards till that call becomes due. Let's discuss one question given in your books that is relating to the interest on calls in advance. But most important thing is there that for this particular year, interest on calls in advance has been deleted by the CBSE. It will not be covered as per the latest syllabus instructions of the CBSE. So we are not going to have the discussion relating to the calls in advance relating to interest particular segment. We will limit our learning only to the extent of journal entries relating to the calls in advance money received. Very simply, I repeat once again, at the stage when the calls in advance is received, bank account will have the more amount, so calls in advance account will be credited. At the stage where it is meant for, when it becomes due, then calls in advance account will be debited. So automatically the bank will be ratified with the amount when it is more and when it is less. So this way we had learned about the important three aspects. One is relating to the purchase of business other than for the cash consideration. Second, accounting treatment of calls in arrears in two ways: when calls in arrear account is not maintained and when calls in arrears account is maintained. And finally, very important thing, that is calls in advance and the accounting treatment of calls in advance. That is, at the stage when the amount is received in advance, calls in advance will be credited, and that stage for it is meant for, calls in advance account will be debited. Important thing only in the bank account entry, in the bank entries. Thank you very much. Have wonderful day. I will continue in our next video in the next class, that is relating to pro rata allotment, which is also known as the pro rata or proportional allotment under case of the oversubscription. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.